Action. Who's up?
Alright, so I'm just gonna finish up writing this one.
Okay, go ahead.
No, Harris, are you okay with the one that Ryan is putting up with the NGOs and stuff like that?
Clause 5.
Yeah, here, let me take a look.
Okay.
Kind of going back to the
Yeah, I think that's it.
fine. Kind of going back to the whole money issue and where it's coming from and where it's going. I do think Harris brought up a good point that we should figure out a plan for where and how that money is going to be put to use, because as we see with a lot of African nations at times, whenever money is entered into the possibility or into the situation, it can sometimes go to not the right places. So I think we definitely need to figure out like a structured plan for how that money is going to be utilized and the direct allocations to the funds.
Yes. Let's put that under 3, because that's what I'm putting in.
Okay.
And I think it doesn't have to be strictly cash, because if we're kind of like blocking off their imports, then a lot of that's just like products and goods. And it's kind of like, if there's a homeless man on the streets and you give them cash, it's like he's more likely to do something bad with it, as opposed to give him like a sandwich or something, which can only help him. So it's kind of the same situation here.
Right, I think the NGOs though will bring in some more of the supplies, in that the loans that we get from the World Bank and other was the decision we came to member states of the UN would also supply money, like
The
South
Security
Africa.
Council money.
Yeah, the Security
Yeah.
Council members. I think that money from them we'd be looking for more of like actual cash, because the
Cash, yeah.
NGOs would be having the supplies.
Well, it would be to like pay the doctors and stuff, right?
Within the country, yeah. And I think like we were talking earlier about the kind of like corner store owner, and kind of like pay for the things that the quarantines like cost him.
Yeah. And the medical supplies, are we saying that to come from like organizations? Or
That's just gonna be from NGOs and also the UN as well.
No, it would be more NGOs like the Red Cross.
But do you want to have peacekeeping forces?
Yeah, we're having both. So
Okay.
if I kind of wrote clause 4 on the Google Docs. In it, I talked about how we're going to quarantine it with the exception of UN peacekeeping forces and NGOs in affiliation with the United Nations. And the United Nations has this huge long list of NGOs that are affiliated with them. So I just picked a few of them, which were Direct Relief, Red Cross, and Doctors Without Borders. 2 of which bring supplies. 1 brings actual doctors and other medical supplies. And so then the UN peacekeepers kind of work in harmony with the NGOs to oversee the setting up of different building sites for hospitals or temporary isolation camps until we can get those hospitals going, while also maintaining the refugee containment situation.
But the point was that, the funding for the isolation centers and stuff like that is going to be the NGO funded. Okay, cool.
I mean, it would always help to have some funding from the UN.
But I think the UN's going to be paying
For the
peacekeepers
peace
anyway.
And it's going to go directly from the UN to the centers. It's not going to go through the government, because if there were, then there would be like chances of the government corruption. It's kind of like dilute that.
So are we? So is all the economic assistance we're providing coming in through the NGOs, kind of indirectly from countries?
You mean the economic assistance from reimbursing the countries as a result of the suspension of the restrictions that we're putting on them?
Yeah, so saying that kind of support, maybe not necessarily like actual money, but supplies. I mean, like, is that going to be coming from NGOs?
And that was going to be coming from the Security Council members of the UN. And it could be in the form of supplies and stuff like that, but it all comes down to like cash, because you buy things with cash.
Yeah, okay.
So where are we?
I think we're writing
How you guys are rewriting?
Yeah, we're kind of
Okay. Are we ready?
revisions a little bit.
Okay, working on the revisions. Are we ready to take a formal vote?
No, we're not finished yet, right?
Okay, we're not finished. Okay.
Do you mind if I not actually say the exact percentage of the GDP that we need from the Security Council members? If I just say that
Well, should we start? Should we, do you think we should specify that now?
No.
Or
I
do you
mean,
think
we need
should
him to
leave that out?
reimburse $14.2 billion. I might as well just say that to be distributed equally between the GDPs.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
a lot of money.
That's a lot, like,
Yeah.
should we figure out now? I think we should figure out now how, at least like
Well, I mean,
by
not
some
saying that
rough
we have-
estimate, how that should be paid by Security Council.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think that we just have to give him a check that says like pay us 14.2, big ones, you know. But we sort of work it out better and sort of like gauge it as more of a quarterly report kind of thing. So they're like multiple payments throughout the year, so we're not paying more than we have to. Because money can go like who knows in those places. And that's also something that we should focus on, like actually how the money's being distributed. You know, and making sure that it's not corrupt. And I'm starting that on clause 3, and people can add to it if they want.
So would that task fall under the UN committee's responsibility? You guys would have to.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
should
I
include
think
it in
we
the
have to.
resolution, yeah. Because that's gonna be hard.